Hey ambitious professionals, it's Linda Rayner of lindarayner.com, guiding you to a career and life you'll truly enjoy. Now, if you are working from home, which the majority of us are, considering this coronavirus pandemic that we're in, you might be finding it hard to really showcase your value to your boss, to your manager, to your coworkers, because you're at home. So today I want to share with you my best tips on how you can shine as a remote employee and how you can showcase your value even though you're working from home and you're not in the office. So let's get started. As a career strategist, I've been able to help numerous ambitious corporate professionals just like you to land their dream job offers. And if this is something that you're interested in, I will talk more about my coaching program as well as my online courses at the end of this video. It's really easy for you to feel like you're lost in the shuffle when you're having to work from home and when everyone's working from home, and you feel that because you're behind a screen and you don't get to spend that face time with your manager, with your coworkers, that it's hard for you to showcase your value and demonstrate how strong of an employee you are. I get it. This is a unique situation that we're in, and if you're someone who's used to going into an office environment and now you're forced to work from home, you're probably wondering, how do I navigate? How do I make sure that I can demonstrate my value? So these are my 5 best tips on how you can shine as a remote employee while working from home. My first tip is to do the work. Now this may sound self-explanatory and obvious, but you really do not want to give your boss, your manager, your coworkers any reason to think that you're not doing anything when you're working at home. You really want to make sure that you stay on top of your assignments, your tasks, that you do a high quality job, that you hand them in by the deadline, or better yet, before the deadline, to make sure that everyone feels good that you're doing your job and you're working from home and that they don't have to worry about you. A lot of the time, it is really easy to slack off and to leave things to the last minute because no one's watching us, or we feel that no one's watching us when we're working at home, and you really don't want to create that habit for yourself. So do your job, do a good job, and make sure that you hand in your work on time. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to say more than hi. What this means is that you want to say more than just hi in your morning meetings with your manager or with your coworkers. You want to schedule regular check-ins with your boss, with your manager. And that means that you want to have a consistent time every week, for example, or every 2 weeks, where you are able to update your manager on what you've been working on, how well you've been doing, and ask any questions or answer any questions that your manager may have for you. The reason why this is important is because it allows you that face time that you otherwise would be missing because you're not in an office. So you want to be proactive and ask for that face time, meaning even if it's just a phone call, that you have that 15 minutes to check in with your manager, inform them of what's been going on, let them know that you're doing a great job, and just making sure that they feel good about you as an employee, as their worker, and that you're doing your job really well. Tip number 3 when it comes to working from home is to make it obvious. When I say make it obvious, I mean that you want to vocalize your achievements. It is really easy when we're working from home to have these accomplishments that we do and have them go completely missed and completely under the radar because no one knows about it because we aren't saying anything about it. So what you have to do in those regular check-ins with your manager is to tell him or her what your most recent achievement was. Let them know that maybe you reorganized the files in the folder, or perhaps you created a new template that saved everyone time, or you were able to identify a cost saving that is going to help with the budget. Whatever it is that you're able to do, you want to mention it in your weekly or bi-weekly check-ins with your manager, with your boss, so that they are aware of it. And from there, you want to track those achievements so that in your next performance review, you can remind your manager of what it is that you were able to accomplish over the last little while. Tip number 4 is do not hide. Because you're working from home, you might find it really easy to do certain things such as hiding behind an email, hiding behind your screen, not turning your camera on. When you're hiding, you are essentially shutting yourself out from being involved and being present with your coworkers, with your manager, and that does not end well for you when it comes to a performance review, for example, where they feel that you just weren't involved, you weren't part of the team. So stop hiding behind email. If you can make a phone call or you can actually have a video call with the person that you need to speak to, do that instead. And when it comes to meetings, show your face if that's what's being asked. Don't hide and turn off your camera. So it's really important to show your face, put yourself out there as much as possible. Just don't hide behind email, don't hide behind your screen, because again, that's going to play a role in your performance review. And finally, tip number 5 is to learn video call etiquette. There are some basic things that you need to realize when it comes to going on video calls. One thing is to make sure that when you are on a video call meeting that you're not staring at something else. Don't stare at your phone and scroll through your phone. That's very obvious if you have your camera on, that someone can see you and they're seeing that you're not even paying attention really and you're looking at something else. Don't do that. Also, make sure that you put yourself on mute if you're not talking. This is such a simple thing to do, but so many people forget to do it, and it can be really unprofessional when they can hear your dogs screaming, barking in the background, or your baby screaming in the background. You really want to make sure that you put yourself on mute unless you're talking. There are just few simple things. I also have a video on how to look good on video calls that I have linked in the description box down below, so feel free to check that out. But make sure that you learn some of the basics and that you follow those. Also, another tip here is if you're speaking and there happens to be noise in your background, apologize for it. Let everyone know, I'm sorry, something's happening right now, it's kind of loud, let me move away. And do what you need to do to get to a quiet space and then proceed to talk. People will completely understand because they're all in the same situation as well. So just make sure that you acknowledge it and don't try to talk through your meeting while your dog is barking and pretending that he doesn't exist. You want to acknowledge, oh, that's my dog, let me go to another room, spend that 5 to 10 seconds to move to another space, and people will understand, and it shows that you are courteous and you're professional. So there you have it. Those are my 5 best tips on how to shine as a remote employee. Now, if you have been looking for a job for the last little while and you have not been successful and you realize that you want one-on-one guidance from me, then feel free to head on over to my website, lindarainer.com/standoutgethired. Read through the page, fill in the application form, and from there, one of my team members will be reaching out to you directly. Otherwise, if you want some free advice, I have my interview training workshop as well as my resume mastery workshop, which are both free, so you can sign up on my website as well. The links are in the description box down below. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.